Estimates of over 10 million longhorns down there. There were so many of them down in South Texas, they were only worth about $4 a head. There were more longhorns in Texas than we had people. Up in the Northeast, they needed beef. You sell one cow in San Antonio, $4 a head, but if you could get it at that time to the closest railroad, which was Abilene, Kansas, 400 miles north of here, you get about $45 a head. So the big cattle drives start way down South Texas, going up to Abilene. Fort Worth was right in the middle, made us a good place to come in for a few days. The cattle drives take about 90 days, 45 days from San Antonio getting into here. They traveled about 10, 12 miles a day. They would come in here to Fort Worth, resupply, hang out for a few days, then continue on north another 45 days. These weren't small cattle drives. There were 2,500 to 3,500 head of cattle would come through here. Now, if you had the ranch down South Texas and you had the cattle, you didn't leave your ranch. It just probably you and your family operating that ranch. You hired livestock contractors to move your cattle for you. So that's what we have here is livestock contractors. We call them drovers. They would take the cattle all the way up. The summer of 1871, right here through Fort Worth, 28 cattle drives came through here, over 600,000 head of cattle. What you're going to see today, same thing you'd have seen 150 years ago. Up front, we have a trail boss, their formation. This is a guy who knows the route. They're coming right up the Chisholm Trail, and that's what you're standing on. The Chisholm Trail was the largest migration of domesticated animals in American history, came right through here. So you're here on the Chisholm Trail. Up they would come, trail boss leading the way. Back a little ways, you have what they call point men. Then a little bit farther back, you have swing men. Back a little bit farther, you have flank men. And then back in the very back, you have the most coveted position of all, is you have the drag man. Imagine being behind 3,000 head of cattle in the summertime in August in Texas. That'd be quite the drag. It would take 6 to 8 horses per man to make that trip. So you had a remuda. This had all the horses in it. You had one wrangler handling all the horses, 35 to 50 head of horses. And you have a chuck wagon. The chuck wagon had your cook on it. He was also your doctor. Every night when they unhitched the team, they would point the forks of that chuck wagon towards the North Star so they would know which direction to continue on. They would come in here, resupply, move on. When they left Fort Worth, it became dangerous because they started crossing over a little area called Oklahoma. Hey, we're known as Cowtown right here because we're built from hides, hooves, and horns. Here comes your Fort Worth herd.
Howdy, cowboys and cowgirls, and welcome to the Fort Worth Herd Cattle